Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, my 2000 Mustang GT with the 2-valve motor in it. Alright, so yeah, about my 2-valve Mustang, I bought some exhaust clamps for it just to put around the two pieces of pipe and seal up the exhaust to see how it would run. They didn't quite seal perfectly on both sides, so you still hear a little bit of that chugging from the exhaust. Also, I found out that there's some noise that sounds like it's coming from the head. I'm actually going to need you guys' help with figuring out what the hell that is, because it goes away with RPM. Also, my intake manifold is one of those cheap ass Dorman intake manifolds, and it's leaking vacuum like crazy. So if I pull off one of my vacuum hoses, it doesn't even change the tone of the motor, and you put your thumb over a vacuum port, there's no suction whatsoever. I unplugged the idle air controller, still nothing. It drops the idle on the motor, but it just 3 injectors on my driver side, you can unplug them and the motor's gonna run the same, and about 2 injectors on the passenger side and the motor run the same. So it really is weird that that's happening. So I'm gonna let you guys hear it. I'm gonna let you guys hear the motor, let you guys hear the exhaust. I'm gonna show you where the exhaust leak is coming from, and also I'm gonna unplug the injectors again and show you guys exactly what I mean when I say that it's making no change, and it definitely is a vacuum leak. So let's get into it. Let me show you guys the motor running, and you guys are gonna help me figure out what's wrong with this thing. Alright, so as you guys have just seen, it's actually 2 injectors on this side, or 2 cylinders on this side, and 2 cylinders on that side. So we're literally running this Mustang off of 4 cylinders right now, because you can unplug 2 injectors on this side and 2 on that side, and the motor doesn't change tone whatsoever. There's not much vacuum here in this intake, but there is a lot of vacuum there on this vacuum port here, which probably corrects my theory that there's a vacuum leak somewhere or the motor's not running right somewhere. When you rev it and it comes down, it sounds like something is knocking in the motor, but then shouldn't that knock get louder as you rev it because it goes completely away as you rev it? Something really puzzling about that. As you guys have heard from the exhaust note, it sounds pretty good as well. All you can hear is that massive miss, and like I said, this is that cheap Dorman intake manifold foolishness that's probably not sealing right and just needs to be gone off the car. Any theories would help, guys. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with this thing. If I'm going to replace the intake, then I have issues with doing that, because if it is knocking or if it is making noise, I just changed the motor. These are pretty cheap to find, and this dog wants to be in my video. But yeah, like I said, these are pretty cheap to find. Normal 2-valve 4.6 stuff. It's not like my 4-valve where I got to rebuild it, because those are a dime a dozen to find, and they're also sought after, so a lot of people buy them and store them for themselves. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's knocking? Do you think it's something in the head? I strongly believe it's something in the head or something timing related. I don't know. I'll be trying to figure this out. But your help is going to be greatly appreciated if you guys have ever experienced this before. Let me know what you think that miss is or where it's coming from. And yeah, let's try to figure out what's wrong with this thing and get it right. Alright guys, so as you guys have just seen, the motor is making a noise. It's only at idle. I have no idea what that could actually be. When you rev it, it sounds super healthy. It is missing on 4 cylinders. The injectors are making no difference whatsoever. It's not smoking to the point where I would think it's rings or valves, but like I said, it is missing pretty hard. None of the O2 sensors are hooked up. These are long tube headers, straight exhaust, going into MagnaFlow exhaust. And yeah, I don't really have a lot of money into this car. I have a good amount of time into it, like fixing the motor, putting it back in, stuff like that. If you guys have any idea what it could be that might be causing this noise, I know how a motor sounds when it's knocking, because this one came knocking, and no matter what RPM you heard from this thing, you could distinctly hear that knock. Now it's like making a weird, like, I don't know if they call it a knock or just a weird noise. And like we know, 4 of those cylinders are either not spraying or not burning fuel or have very bad vacuum leaks. And like I said, that intake manifold is absolute garbage. Even when I fitted it, that's one of those Dorman manifolds where you could barely get the spark plug socket down in there to change the plugs. It's cut weird at the base. It's just a really shitty intake manifold. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I really am waiting to hear what you think this thing might be. Hopefully I don't have to pull this motor back out. If I do have to pull it back out, we're going to put this on the stand. We're going to go forge pistons, forge rods. We're pretty much going to forge out the bottom end, take the heads off. We're going to take we're going to probably put some cams in it, just probably do a nice build on it and then put it in another Mustang. But for right now, we're probably just going to buy another junkyard motor, slap it in, and hopefully it runs right. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Always remember, don't drift without your dreams, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.